Good morning, everyone. Brothers, sisters, psychonauts, and seekers of truth. It is Ananka, and welcome to my bazaar. Today, we are going to be reading the Aztec myth, the creation story of the four suns. With all that being said, lay down, get comfortable, and let our story begin. Tonacatecutli and Tonacacihuatl dwelt from the beginning in the 13th heaven. To them were born, as to an elder generation, four gods: the ruddy Kamashli, chief divinity of the Tlascalans; the black Tezcatlipoca, wizard of the night; Quetzalcoatl, the wind god; and the grim Huitzilopochtli, of whom it was said that he was born without flesh, a skeleton. For 600 years these deities lived in idleness. Then the four brethren assembled, creating the first fire, hearth of the universe, and afterward a half-sun. They formed also Oshimoko and Sipak Tonal, the first man and first woman, commanding that the former should till the ground, and the latter spin and weave. While to the woman they gave powers of divination and grains of maize that she might work cures. They also divided time into days and inaugurated a year of 18 20-day periods, or 360 days. Mictlantecutli and Mictlantecuhtli they created to be Lord and Lady of Hell, and they formed the heavens that are below the 13th story of the celestial regions, and the waters of the sea, making in the sea a monster, Sipactli, from which they shaped the earth. The gods of the waters, Tlalactecutli, and his wife Chalchihuitlicu, they created, giving them dominion over the quarters. The son of the first pair married a woman formed from a hair of the goddess Xochiquetzal, and the gods, noticing how little was the light given forth by the half-sun, resolved to make another half-sun, whereupon Tezcatlipoca became the sun-bearer. For what we behold traversing the daily heavens is not the sun itself, but only its brightness. The true sun is invisible. The other gods created huge giants who could uproot trees by brute force and whose food was acorns. For 13 times 52 years, altogether 676, this period lasted, as long as its sun endured. And it is from this first sun that time began to be counted. For during the 600 years of the idleness of the gods, while Huitzilopochtli was in his bones, time was not reckoned. The sun came to an end when Quetzalcoatl struck down Tezcatlipoca and became the sun in his place. Tezcatlipoca was metamorphized into a jaguar, Ursa Major, which is seen by night in the skies wheeling down into the waters, whither Quetzalcoatl cast him. And this jaguar devoured the giants of that period. At the end of 676 years, Quetzalcoatl was treated by his brothers as he had treated Tezcatlipoca, and his son came to an end with a great wind, which carried away most of the people of that time, or transformed them into monkeys. Then for 7 times 52 years Tlaloc was sun. But at the end of this 364 years, Quetzalcoatl rained fire from heaven and made Chalchihuitlicu sun in place of her husband, a dignity which she held for 312 years, 6 times 52. And it was in these days that maize began to be used. Now 2,628 years had passed since the birth of the gods, and in this year it rained so heavily that the heavens themselves fell, while the people of that time were transformed into fish. When the gods saw this, they created 4 men, with whose aid Tezcatlipoca and Quetzalcoatl again upreared the heavens, even as they are today. And these two gods, becoming lords of the heavens and of the stars, walked therein. After the deluge and the restoration of the heavens, Tezcatlipoca discovered the art of making fire from sticks and of drawing it from the heart of flint. The first man, Piltzintecutli, and his wife, who had been made of a hair of Xochiquetzal, did not perish in the flood, because they were divine. A son was born to them, and the gods created other people just as they had formerly existed. But since, except for the fires, all was in darkness, the gods resolved to create a new son. This was done by Quetzalcoatl, who cast his own son by Chalchuitlicu into a great fire, whence he issued as the son of our own time. Tlaloc hurled his son into the cinders of the fire, and thence rose the moon, ever following after the sun. This son, said the gods, should eat hearts and drink blood. And so they established wars that there might be sacrifices of captives to nourish the orbs of light. All right, everyone. That is the end of our story. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and share with me any recommendations you have in the comments below. Don't forget to check out the other videos and playlists on my channel, and I will see you in the next one, fam. Deuces.